Yo, what is this anyways?
I beg your damn pardon.
What is that?
What is what?
The juice.
It's a little lemonade.
The yellow juice.
A little lemonade. That's it. That's all. Just nothing big, nothing crazy.
Shit, what's in it? Because it's not regular. It's not regular lemonade, no.
No. What's regular lemonade?
Water and lemon.
That's not lemonade, bro. That's lemon water.
Lemon what? Oh, and sugar.
Yeah, some sweet supply, some lemon
Okay.
and some. So that's what it is. It's maple syrup and lemons and water.
Oh, okay.
A little spice in it. It's a spicy lemonade.
And it just cleanse you out with something like that?
Nah, I don't want to talk about that.
It was just like near the crib. Yeah, bad influence. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Yo, as you can see, I'm in New York, so like it's not the usual episode, but yeah, I'm here, the Brooklyn boy, man. So, Sim Desire. What's up?
Thank you.
My
bro.
fault, bro.
Thank you.
Sim, bro.
Nice
So, how are you,
introduction.
bro?
I appreciate it. I'm doing good, man. I'm surviving.
Yo, like we are.
I'm surviving.
Yo, hold that. Because I'm gonna bring that up. And,
Yeah.
So this is usually about like horror and supernatural and all that. And a reason I have you on is because like you know a lot about SA hip hop and Hollywood and all that and what happens behind the scenes, which it's sloppy, it gets messy, and dark and all that. So it should be what y'all like.
Let's go.
Anyways, so yeah, as I was saying, like shit. What was I saying? I was saying freaking what's the name? Life has been weird, yo. And I'm not sure what it is, but it happened in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't been normal since. You feel me? Agreed or not?
No, I completely agree. It's been nuts.
But like it's hard to explain. It's money. Like oh, my fault.
No, we good.
You good?
Yeah.
It's how we're sleeping. It's like it's always a rush. Like weeks are flying.
Man.
Like it's like we said. Oh man, like it's almost Monday, and randomly, the week is over. It's like okay, it's Friday, but like how'd that happen? Like what the hell?
Time is flying, right?
Yeah, but bro, this shit is, I don't know, unacceptable.
So I have a theory because I've been telling people this. I spoke to a friend of mine that lives in Grenada. They like bi-coastal, whatever you call it. They like
Okay.
based out in New York, but they spend a lot of time in Grenada. They from there, but they a doctor. They could do shit like that. But I was telling them that same thing. I was like, yo, time is just flying. It's like breezing by. And most people I spoke to agree. Like they feel the same way. She was just like, nah, I ain't feel that.
No?
And she started asking me questions about like what was going on in my life. And I guess maybe it might be something about like
The U.S., you think? Mainly?
Interesting.
Because if it hasn't hit her, it's like, I just heard that. And I'm like, oh, so like, is it only here where it's just weird?
Wow, I never thought about that.
You feel me?
I think she spends Grenada is like such a chill island.
Right.
Like you just chilling on the beach. I think you just used to the slow life. So I think she intentionally goes there to avoid probably what you're saying is like happening in the United States.
Yeah.
That might be one thing. That's a good point.
Nah, that's interesting because it's always a rush here, so it's just weird. Like, it's hard. As I was saying, it's hard to explain, but life, it has like, it's almost like it's switched. It's just like it's a shift. It's almost like it's not like real anymore. I don't know.
So
But I'm not like like reaching for something. I'm just saying, the feeling of what it is.
you saying we in a simulation now, and it started in 3 years ago?
I've heard that.
It
but
started
I don't
3
know.
years ago.
I don't know, man. But like, you see now, it's just hard to believe that because it's like, how? know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to, like, it's like, what do you mean by that? Yeah, a simulation.
Yo, I think we in a. You ever seen? This might be going over. This might be. I might be showing my age, maybe.
Okay.
You ever heard of an ant farm?
Ant farm?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a glass, and
Yep.
it has just it's
And you
hand, it's
can
just
watch
like,
and
little,
and you actually
pathways.
control the ecosystem of the ant farm.
How so?
I mean, like if you put food here, or if you insert any like other, like say it's a black ant farm and you put like a fire
Right.
ant, like you can. I mean, you're in control of the farm.
Yeah.
Like it's your farm. You can
Nah,
kill
facts.
the ants. You could like poison them. You could like whatever. You feel me? I don't know, but you're in control of it. When I say
Did you do
simulation,
that, by the way?
would I kill ants?
Yeah.
Nah. You know the shit about ants
What?
is if you kill one of them, it sends off like hormones, and then all the whole gang come back at you. So I be just
Okay.
chilling with ants. Ants is cool with me.
It was
I
like-
don't be trying to fuck with them. Ants is cool. Roaches,
Ants,
I might fucking kill them all, but like ants
I
cool
hate
with
roaches,
me.
bro.
Ants cool with me.
Facts. Nah, yeah. I don't mind them. I
You
don't
feel
mind
me?
them, for sure.
Yeah, I
Damn,
fuck
but I
with
didn't
ants.
realize like you have that. Like it shows it shows your age for real. The farm. I'm like, ant farm for real?
I never had an ant farm. I just remember commercials about
Oh,
it.
okay, damn. Okay, yeah.
I'm sure there's people out there who do ant farms. I never had one. I ain't into it. I just remember seeing them. I'm like, yo, this is like, it's like an aquarium, basically.
Right.
Maybe I should have just went with that.
It's a little simpler,
Yeah.
but like, why? Like
Oh,
what's up with it?
so I say
Why'd
that,
you bring
but
it up?
so I bring that up to say like how an example of what a simulation can be and look like. So you're saying like 2020 happened, something
Yeah.
happened. I'm saying maybe the person in charge of this farm that we're on, maybe
Right.
just shook it up a little bit. They did something that kind of just determined that shifted the direction of how we're going. And if you're on an ant farm, right? Like say you did shake that shit up, it's like an earthquake to them.
Right.
They don't know nothing besides, yo, it's an earthquake, but now life is different. They're like, yo, the pathways we used to walk is different. Like the food like everything is different. They don't know why, they just feel it and they're experiencing it differently. And that's just the whole trajectory of their life until they die is different than what they've known.
Yo, that's mad smart, actually. That's a smart ass analogy, bro. I didn't see that. And like, yo, that's really interesting, man. Cause like, it's like, there's also hella like new shit that's out. It's like meat. It's like lab meat. Like I'm not sure if you've heard of it now. Yeah, I'm sure you researched it. But it looks horrible. I'm like, why would we eat that? And why do you like why? Why?
Yo, you asking me for real?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
You've eaten it before?
No.
You ever ate the plant-based stuff, bullshit they be trying to sell?
I actually have, yeah. The
How is it?
plant-based yeah, my fault. It's only I've had it once, and it was alright, But it's like, cause like it's hidden in a whole bunch of shit, Oh, yeah,
That shit it wasn't
Oils
bad.
and
Like you said, it was alright.
yeah, but
But I would smell it through my system for like 2 days. Like if I would like,
oh, word?
yeah, I would take a shit and I would smell the fucking, I don't even know what you call that shit, fake meat smell.
Exactly.
And for like days, I'm like, this don't never happen with nothing I eat. I don't like this shit. It just make me feel kind of weird. And then I found out it's all plant fats and shit. But if you asking me, like, I don't know which
Yeah, plant
lens you asking me. Like, if you
Yeah.
being sarcastic or if you brought me on because I'm a conspiracy realist. But like,
Realist?
they just like,
Conspiracy realist. Okay, that's a new one.
yeah, I'm not. I'm
did
done
you
with the
make that up?
theorists.
Oh, it's
I'm
real
done with the
now.
theorists. Nah, ain't nobody gonna call me that. I let people call me that and like refer to me as a conspiracy theorist because like it was what it was. What am I gonna do? Just fight everybody and argue with everybody? Like if they
Yeah.
don't want to believe what's real, then that's up to
Nah,
them. But like
facts.
now, all of the stuff that I was talking about is like
It's already out, right?
it's been validated. So like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play that game with people.
Nah, facts. I
Feel me? Because I think conspiracy theory is beyond what I'm talking about. Like maybe a conspiracy theory might be like what if Nike is running like a dog fighting ring, like some shit like that. Like, all right, that's a conspiracy theory. What I'm talking
Right.
about, I don't know. I think it's been validated by mass sources that like there's an agenda towards moving towards an agenda that, you know, people who want to kind of globalize the world have been pushing forward. They see it as like the new way, and I think lab grown meat is a part of that.
Yeah, right. It's interesting because you said like the plant based shit and all that. So it's almost like we have had it, like, you know, like already, and it was just like slowly. All right, let's have this. So we can hit them with the meat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
So we can hit them with the meat.
Pause.
Yeah,
that's what's
ain't
happening
nobody
right here,
hitting
baby.
me. Yo, there's a lot of niggas getting hit with meat nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
Diddy's and the. And
Okay.
there's a
All right,
lot
so
of people like
All right, so are we having
condolences. Nah,
Are
my
we
bad.
having-
I ain't mean to move it ahead, but like, nah.
Oh no! I'm actually glad you brought it up, bro. Let's bring up.
We ain't finished that.
bring
We ain't finished the conspiracy,
All
one,
right,
but it's
yeah,
up to you. It's up to you.
Okay. So.
They definitely did like warm us up.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, yo, let's just give them some bullshit. Like, give them some plant
bullshit.
fats.
Yeah,
Like,
some
this shit is
plant
not healthy in any way. It's just not meat. So they like give
Yeah.
you this. They give you this propaganda. They indoctrinate you with this. Oh, meat is bad. Cow farts is like ruining the world. Like, they send all of these things and they give you all of this information about how bad meat is for you. When
Right.
the truth is, like, the meat isn't actually the problem. It's like the mass-produced meat where they give them all the additives and everything is actually leading to a lot of the issues that we have. So it's not
Exactly.
meat per
Yeah,
se.
Farms and all that.
Yeah.
It's really unhealthy. You
Right.
know?
And I think what's gonna come next, I think, you know, it's not an original thought by me, but like I think they say that, you know, only rich people can be able to eat and afford meat. So the lab grown thing is just like a pathway, like kind of getting it normalized. I don't think it's gonna be accepted. But when something happens big, like there's gonna be some big thing that happens. Like it's generally how life goes. They had
Yeah.
9/11 in 2001, and then we had COVID in 2019. There's probably gonna be some big thing happen that'll like shift the economy. And I really do think it's gonna be a lot of poor people and a few rich people, and that's it. And only the rich people are gonna be able to travel, eat meat, and experience life how we experiencing it now. Everybody else will be like kind of on a concentration camp. But not to like be, when I say concentration camp, even New York City is a concentration camp.
Right. Like, this shit is not real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what happens here is just like, what is this, bro?
Right.
This place is just like, it's like a lab for like weird people.
Yo, it's
Yeah, and weird shit that happens here, man. But that's interesting. You like mentioned like 9/11 and all that, cause like, you know, because of 9/11, that's the reason why, you know, they, cause like, you know, like really hack us, you know, and listen in on what's happening.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if you write some shit, you know, or look something up, that's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? And you showing up somewhere. And it's all because of 9/11. So
Right.
it's interesting, but
well, yeah. That's right.
yeah, exactly.
I was gonna get into semantics and say it was about the Patriot Act in specific, but yeah, that's clearly tied to 9/11. Like it was,
Yeah.
they did 9/11 to introduce the Patriot Act.
Right.
Interestingly enough, I think it was Obama who renewed it because it had a time limit on it. So
Really?
Obama renewed it before he left office.
Okay.
So just for anybody out there who was curious about that,
So,
I know.
Obama,
It's up to you, bro. I'm here.
you a fan of him?
Am I a fan of Obama?
Right. Are you?
No.
Why is
not,
that?
Not particularly.
It's rare to hear that, like, you know, cause, like, oh, like he's so nice. He's so like, you know, he's black and all. Like, you know, we all love him.
He's
Because of that, but
that's sad that people love him because he's black, but
Because, I'm
that is
just-
very sad.
I'm
But
just being real. It's a black president and whatnot. That's
He-
what we all wanted.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't want a black president, but I don't know, like that for me personally, I was never like, yo, we should have a black president. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
see it like that.
Right.
Like,
Just
I
if
mean,
it happens to happen. Oh,
it would be
amazing.
awesome.
Exactly. If not, it is what it is. You know, it's just,
Right.
It's,
I
it's
think-
the U.S.
I think it would show some sort of a progress, but what we
Right.
experienced was that it actually had the country and the nation and society regress. So,
Right.
you know, one thing that's real interesting is like my grandmother, you know, rest in peace. You told me like her father used to read the newspaper every single day, sitting on the porch, and he told her that there was going to be a black president, not in her lifetime, but in my lifetime.
But how did he know?
How do anybody know anything, huh? I don't know. You know, the thing about what's going on there was like all of these things have been prophesized. That's why, like, you know, in the beginning, I wanted to just be very clear. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. These are things that, like, you know, I think people predict because the architects of this world we in kind of like laid out what they were gonna do, and like they
Right.
laid out how things were gonna look. Like I've heard all along that there was gonna be a race war. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look. I didn't anticipate this, and because we kind of got above the race war, we kind of elevated or like transitioned to the gender war, and the race war ain't over yet though. Don't get it twisted. But like,
No, yeah.
you know, all of these things I heard about, and then to see it like, oh shoot, they wasn't lying. But I think the people who, you know, the devil run this world, and like they got some people that this like let's get it. Don't let get it twisted. I don't want to go on too far.
Okay.
But I think his name is something Pike. Who wrote a manifesto explaining how the First World War would start, how the Second World War would start,
heard
and
of
the
it.
Third World War would start.
Yeah, recently I've heard about that. Yeah.
Right.
And what's the name? And the recent one like is about what's happening right now in Israel.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I've seen that before, which is interesting because it's almost like it's like it's already written. Like we saw
Right.
what would happen, but
Right.
it's just not listening or believing.
Right. Well, not a lot of people have access to it. Also, it's just a lot of, I think there's just a lot of confusion intentionally created by, you know, the devil that's running this, the architect. Because, you know, even the Bible, there's prophecy coming to life. So it's just like, dang, okay, the Bible is legit. But it's just also like, it feels intimately tied to, you know, these Masons
Right.
and these architects who,
Yeah.
you know, have their own manifestos. It just really relates to the King James Version Bible.
Right, right. And so, like, what's happening right now? Because, like, you just hear all over the place, oh, it's ending, that's it. Like, the world is ending. It's soon. It's happening soon. But it's interesting because, like, soon, in humans' eyes, like, oh, it could be, like, in a few years, or 7 years. But, like, in the heavens, soon, it could, like, it's like, a few hundred years. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So, who knows, really? But it's like, what's happening?
You're asking me if we in the end times? What are you asking me?
Yeah.
So,
And if you believe it, the signs and all that, the prophecies.
I bet I'll say it like this. You know, New World Order has always been a phrase that people understood, and Bush Senior introduced it to the mainstream during one of his speeches, and kind of. But everybody knew about it. But when he actually mentioned that we're trying to usher in a new world order, people started to actually like pay attention a little bit more. So when I say when they say end of the world, I think it's not so literal.
Right.
And so I think personally, I believe that the world, it did end. I think that's what happened in 2020. It ended because we are in a new world order, and this is the establishing of it. So that old world that we did end. It ended. You're saying you started the conversation saying,
shit, did we just like solve it or have like a solid answer? The world actually ended in 2020 of how it was.
Yeah, it's no going back. The only way it can go back is, they say Jesus coming, right? But I think, it's a way more deeper thing that people don't generally understand because,
Right.
And I think this is what I say with the confusion comes in. I think the Jesus coming back is really just a consciousness collectively. If everybody in this world could actually transform their hearts and their consciousness to actually
Believe, right?
believe on one hand, but also, yeah, believe is the absolute fundamental part of it, right? But on top of belief, it's also just shifting your consciousness. When the Christian Bible or any like religion is telling you how to live a certain way, to live on the straight and narrow, to raise your vibrations, and they're speaking about going to heaven, it's really like elevating from your low fleshly self of like, you know,
Right,
your
yeah.
desires, because when you're operating from your flesh, that's when the devil can use you, right?
Absolutely.
So as long as we're on a low vibration and we're fighting, which we've clearly seen, we've seen people like ready to kill people for not
For
like
nothing, bro. Like sauce. You know what I'm saying?
like it
At
got
places, yeah, whatever. Like, bro, like really, bro?
right. So it got to the point where people were like, you know, what I witnessed in 2020 was just like the hopelessness and the fear that was too strong and powerful on everybody, and it just showed. I don't know.
All right, bro.
All right.
I like this. Where were we? Where were we?
Yeah. So you was asking me if the world ended in
Yeah.
2020. Oh no. You asked me if we're in the end times.
Yeah.
If I believe the world will end. I believe that the world ended. It did end. I think there was a consciousness shift that happened around 2020, and we will never go back to that. I think that so this is one thing that people don't really even look. There's little subtle things all around us that people don't pay attention to. I am a millennial. I think my parents are what, boomers or Gen X,
Yeah, boomers, I believe.
and what are you, a millennial?
XX. Yeah. I'm
Right.
also a millennial, I believe.
And then my nieces and nephews, like the younger
Z.
people now, they're Gen Z.
Yeah.
This is something that people don't really pay attention to. What comes after Z?
Yeah, I've heard. Exactly. I've heard there's like, so what happens? You know, it resets. Yeah.
So it
might
has
end
already.
it.
It has already. So
Yeah.
this new generation, Gen Z is done. There's no more Gen Z being born. It's Gen Alpha. So we're
Alpha,
in the new world. It's the A. We're starting at A.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
We're starting at A. It's starting over. And this generation, you know, I don't know what is going on, but I think it's just a matter of social engineering. And so it's just like
What do you mean by that?
So I think that so when I mean social engineering, one of the things I was going to talk, social engineering is just basically like they're creating the ideal human for what they want in their farm, in this world. And so
Okay.
when I think about the world, honestly, I think the world is the metaverse. I think the world is our phone. When in biblical terms, in Christian biblical terms of like, you know, don't conform to the world, I think this is becoming a new reality. The cell phone.
Yeah.
And
The
when
Mark maybe?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I think just the metaverse and how we interface with the social media is not real. This is really where the devil lives. Like there's no God in social media. I think that is the ultimate tool that will capture our souls. And so to go back to the original question and the stuff that you was talking about when you was asking about time, that's what I realized was this robbing us of our time. After the lockdown, it kind of slowed everything down. People were really jacked up because they were not used to being able to just sit down in their shit. A lot of people went crazy. A lot of marriages failed. Like just
Yeah.
people had to deal with their stuff. And I think a lot of people it just shifted them, whether they felt urgent afterwards and they needed to like kind of catch up and like make up for all these things, or maybe people quit their jobs and was like, nah, I'm starting a new venture. But what I realized was, you know, during the lockdown, they had like the live, you know, the live streaming concerts.
Yeah.
I don't know if people really remember because I feel like it went under the radar, but people was having like concerts on PlayStation. Like, and they
I
had
didn't
like
know that.
tens of thousands of people watching it live in the metaverse. People forgot about the metaverse because
That's
they had a
crazy.
little moment of talking about it, like they were trying to
Yeah.
feel it out.
Right.
But there was so many projected changes and like industrial shifts that were gonna happen, even in television. They were saying like we might not even work on set. We might have these rooms that just basically it's a whole screen behind us, and they won't even need to be on set. And they could just have AI behind you. And all of these things are legit, and the technology is going in that way. But what I'm really saying is that our time is dedicated to our hand, our phone, the metaverse now. And so when I say social engineering, I mean, my niece doesn't even use a pen. Like I went in Colombia, I brought back some like, you know, like
Yeah.
magnets and pens.
Yeah.
But I gave it to my brother. I was like, you know, give it to her. She like, what's she gonna do with this? She was an iPad. So like I didn't even think about this. So they're learning technology in school. So basically, we're going closer and closer to not being able to exist as human beings without technology. So the social engineering is that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Like we're getting programmed to like just rely on this. So the mark of the beast isn't here yet because
It
we
makes
still have
sense.
Gen Alpha has to like go through this process. We've slowly been doing it each generation, but like they operate through their phone. They wake up, they're on their phone. This is their prayer.
Absolutely.
This is it.
And it's sad because it's like I'm not, like, why now? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, what? Like, why, bro? Like, I just want to, like, be normal. But that's not an option right now. It's like, it's all hitting us hard. What, normal?
So what's
I know
normal?
what you're about to ask. Yeah, that's hard to explain. I might have not used the right word, but it's just weird now. Like it's not, it isn't how it was. Like, you know, growing up and whatever, like playing outside. You know what I'm saying? Watching.
Oh yeah,
movies
you're an old
and
guy.
Not having.
You're an old guy.
I am an old guy.
You're an
I used
old
to
guy.
play outside.
You're an old
People are
guy.
like, what is outside?
What is that? What is play?
What is outside now? Jared? We're just home now. What is playing?
What is play? The
You know what I'm
streets? You used to
saying?
play in the streets? Doesn't mean you used to be a hoe.
Hey, no. Never that, man. But shit, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like playing outside and hardly, like, you know, like let's say you just hang out with the homies and whatnot. You know, it used to be like really hanging out. Now it's just us hanging out, and it's all on the cell phones,
No, yeah.
like in our own world. And it's like, what is that?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I say
Yeah.
like socially engineered. I remember in 2000 and something, I just was on the train and I always knew, like I was one of the originators, and not to be a hipster about it, but like
What?
of like getting off of Facebook and realizing the bullshit. Like
Okay.
this was like, I don't even think, I got off it before Instagram was like popping, like before Instagram was a thing. Like I said, not to be a hipster, but I foresaw this. I saw my attention and I saw like, it was slowly but surely desensitizing me to having privacy. Like it's almost like I felt compelled to share everything about me. And it also felt like everybody knew stuff about me. Like I'd see somebody and they would know what was going on with me, and I ain't seen them in months. And I'm like, this feels weird, feels creepy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like over time we've been like slowly programmed to just give everything, all the information, all of our attention, everything, our soul to the social media, to this metaverse.
Right.
So, hold up. Damn. Whatever. I forgot.
Damn.
What would you ask me just now? Or is something? Dang, it's all good.
Nah, my fault.
Nah,
I'm
it's all
asking a
good.
lot of shit. I'm like, what?
Nah, it's good.
What I ask?
Oh, right. So what I was saying is basically like, I think we still have a choice though. We don't have to be plugged into our phone. Right, that's where I was going. Because I was saying like,
True.
I got off of the Facebook. And really what you're saying is like, I hear a lot of people say it, but I think that if we really want that, we just need to have the fortitude to do that. Like we can definitely say no to our phones. Oh, so this is what I was going to say. My bad. I remember being on the train and just enjoying time of just being.
Right.
And I would look around, and nobody was really on their phones. But I remembered seeing like 2-3 people on their phone. I'm like, dang, that's kind of got to be a rough life, like, right? They can't just sit with themselves. Like, they have to like be on their phone.
Yeah.
And I remember even like 2 years after that, I would just see everybody on like Angry Birds, like Tetris, all of these things. I'm like, dang, that's got to be real rough that they just occupying their time, like. And then before you knew it, I was on my phone like that. And like my whole dinner table was like that. And now you saying all of our homies is like that.
Yeah, bro. We just hanging out on the cell phones. I'm like, what's happening right now? But it is a shift, absolutely. Damn, man. Now I lost what I was about to say. What's happening? Yo, are they playing with us right now? They're like, yo, hey, these boys are onto something right now. Yo, we need to bring back the supernatural, the horror. We don't want you. We don't want you on that. All right.
Nah, we got this. God is good.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, but man, I was about to say something, but I don't know what it was. Okay, here's something. So like recently I've like applied to work. At, there's places also where like
Oh.
like
My bad. Are you shifting topics?
no.
Okay, my bad. Go
It's
ahead.
the same. It's the same. So there's places where like it is mad like old fashioned. You know, I just walked and asked like, "Hey, are you hiring?"
Mm.
You know, it's like in person,
Yeah.
which is like it's really rare, but like it's hard now because that's not usually an option. It's like, oh, like nah, like apply online.
Right.
Like it's only that's just how it is. There's no choice. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, bruh, why? You know what I'm saying? And it's so much. It's helpful because it's like, you know, if you see me, you know, and you like me, it's almost like a, you know, easy hire.
Right. You could feel it out. Like you can't
Exactly.
understand somebody through a freaking piece of paper with information.
Bro, it's like it's hard to sell yourself. It's yeah, no.
It depends.
It's not working out. Next.
I feel you. If you're a personable person who doesn't do social media, yeah, it's hard to sell yourself. That's been
Yeah.
a little bit of my struggle because
Right.
like people don't even remember I exist because I'm not actively on social media. Like people honestly was like, yeah, they didn't say I forgot about you,
Yeah.
existed, but like really, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Oh.
Unless you think
exactly.
about somebody like, oh, I remember that homie. Like yeah. People just so used to interfacing through that you know
Right.
it is this new reality that we talking about.
And it's also music. It's nice, you know, because like music, like is something you always have to freaking have on, and not like you know, sit with yourself. You know,
Right.
I got homies who like you know, shit, like a split second, like you know, if you're just hanging out on the road, or like
Yeah.
you're walking somewhere or working out, is music on.
Right.
Like if not, what's
Right.
happening right now? It's like I'm shook. Like you know, I have to hear something. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
So here's another thing about that and social engineering that you asked about.
Okay.
So the social medias and the metaverse is actually rewiring our brains. It's not like
Yeah.
just a social aspect. There's actually a physiological neuroscientific aspect to it.
Okay, big words.
Where like as a lot of people is probably I don't know what your because everybody knows there's this mental health TikTok. Like people going on there getting kind of whatever. Maybe I shouldn't even go that route. A lot of people are recognizing, especially during the lockdown, that they have ADHD. And there's a lot of people who just never knew they had it. And, you know, I think the circumstances that presented itself, like having to work from home, and I think the shift of everything did give a lot of people a lot of issues, and a lot of them did look like ADHD.
Right.
But ADHD is actually how they define it scientifically. It's like your brain chemicals are not neurotypical. They're not normal. So like what it is basically I'm saying is that, and what I realize is that the phones and the attention span, like the swiping of it depletes your dopamine. And so it actually makes you require more, and that actually causes ADHD in people. And so it ruins people's attention spans. And so now people have a vast amount of different issues that they never had before. But what I'm really getting at is that like people can't sit with themselves. And here's the biggest thing about that. In the Bible, it says, be still and know God. Get into your prayer closet. The reason God says to be still is because if you still, the devil can't get you. The devil don't want you to be still. I'm sure there's probably times you try to pray and then all of a sudden you get these like flooded thoughts and it's like, yo, where did this come from? I don't want to think about this.
Absolutely. Bro.
Like the
Yeah.
weirdest things pop up as soon as you get down. I'm like, yo, where did that come from? That's how the devil gets you. Yeah. And so the devil don't want you to be silent. It don't want you to be still. And so as our attention span gets depleted like that, stillness becomes just a more distant thing that we can access where God is. And so like, you know, I just say I'm tying it back because like I said, the architects is just, they like, yo, this is our time. And when I was saying before, this is probably where I wanted to close that loop, because I was saying if we shift our consciousness, we can end all of it. Because they are only banking on the fact that we are not present and showing up. We're distracted by this metaverse. I always say there will never be a revolution in this world until the Wi-Fi go out. There will never be a revolution in this world until Wi-Fi goes out. Niggas don't care about shit.
Because you have to focus. if you don't got
If you ain't got Wi-Fi, then the real
what-
feelings
what
come
you gonna
out.
do?
Then you like, yo, they doing what? What pilot? Like, you gonna pay attention. You're not distracted no more.
Remember that's happened before in Florida, like in like 2012 or something. Like, so we had a house, right? We just hanging out, and like it's raining. And we know that, and it's like hard rain. Like it's just rough. It's really rough. And randomly, there's no signal, no signal, no signal, and no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so like, what I'ma read? But now, at like an older age, I would read.
Right.
It's like, it's lit.
Right.
I really don't mind. But like, a lot of people will be like, what the hell? The hell? What do I do?
Only because it was engineered like that. That's my point.
Yeah.
Because I still see little white kids on the train, like 8 years old, reading the fuck out of books.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, and I know what class they come from. They some rich motherfuckers that they don't give their kids
Yeah.
phones. They don't have iPads and televisions babysitting their children. So they still have
really
their
smart.
they still have what we have.
Yeah.
So they had no issue like sitting it down and like having an imagination, bro.
Yeah.
When you consuming so much, you can't produce nothing.
Damn, bro.
And it's an attention economy. Like, even to use it now, you're incentivized to just do bullshit to just capture people's attention. So, like, you're participating in this whole thing where we don't got our bodies,
Yeah.
we don't got our minds, and now we just giving our souls to this shit. Like, if you want to participate in it, you got to feed the algorithms, right? So you're like, how can I get somebody's attention right away and hold on? Like, you're feeding this devil. Like,
Yeah.
it's not about like what will fulfill somebody, what will do this, or like, you know what I mean? I'm going off on a tangent just because you kind
Nah,
of sparked me up, but like,
Nah, I
Yeah.
like that. But like, it's interesting because it's like, how do you win? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you like make money and grow? Because it's helpful on social
Right.
media. It helps for sure.
right,
And the viewers, it's all because of social media. If not, who's
Mm-hmm.
hearing this? So like it's hard to have, like, how do I use it and not, like, let's say wreck minds and like
wreck yours? What you mean? Wreck your social media?
No, like
Wreck
my mind.
yourself.
Exactly. It's hard to have like in a between, a balance.
So I think, and this reminds me of something I wanted to say before when you were like, how do we get out of this and
Yeah.
all of these things? Because honestly, like I was saying, we got to find the fortitude and the courage to get out of the metaverse, get out of the world. It's a clearly defined path we can have, and we can have our minds, we can have our souls, we can have our connections. We don't have to live in this world. This is why it's, the Bible, it says you can't serve two masters. Love of money is really, you can't love money and love God. So when you're like building your life around getting money,
Right.
that is the same thing as just being
Yeah.
just stuck in the world. Because there's ways you can like live life and not have to deal with the money. But my bad. In this world, I'm sorry. Like, you need money to survive. But what I mean though is like, what does that really mean? Because you can buy a plot of land in West Bumblefuck anywhere and grow your own things and be good, but you won't have the internet, you won't have all of the things of the world.
Right.
So if you're willing to sacrifice those things, yeah, you can have the things you're asking for. I think people just want both. They want their
Yeah.
cake, they want to eat it too. But the fact is, there's mad land in this whole world. You can go
Right.
anywhere and avoid all of these things. You don't need a cell phone. You can get a flip phone.
Right.
They
But it's
they
not
don't have
what
to
we
track
want.
your phone. Right. Now you addicted.
Right.
So if people don't understand they addicted, they're gonna always be like, yo, I don't know. Because really all it is like setting boundaries. Like, I think if people, and also it's a lack of information. If people understood how detrimental these phones are to us and our health in general, I think people would take more action. Like, people have brought more awareness to like white sugar and how it's affecting us, and like,
Right.
higher fructose corn syrup. And it took years of like, no, who cares? I'll just drink my soda. I'll just eat my candy. Now you're like, yo, it's doing a lot of damage. If people brought that attention to it, I think people would make the efforts to be like, I got to stop drinking soda. I got to
Yeah.
stop eating this or that.
Not right. Knowledge is it for sure, because listen, man, I was always heavy set, and I was like, man, eating whatever it is. I was
Yeah.
just eating But now, at like an older age, I'm looking at something, I'm like, oh shit, man, I used to love that. But that's a lot of sugar. What? I'm not gonna eat
Facts.
that. Yeah,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? And soda and like the fried foods. I mean,
Bro.
look, man. I be having that, but like it's limited now for sure.
Yeah.
Because I just realized,
I definitely
hurting
get a
me.
hangover off of sugar fried foods. Like I'm at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, you ain't
also-
there yet. You ain't there yet.
Nah,
I forget we got a big gap in our age.
Bro,
It's real.
I like sugar. Nah, for sure.
No, it's real.
Bro,
Oh, my
and
bad.
heartburn. Yo, hold on, bro. You got heartburn now?
I don't get it. I mean, I eat the same thing. I eat salads. You remember me? I
you
eat
the
like
same thing. Okay.
yeah. But if I don't, I would get it.
Bro, I'm like so shocked, bro, because it just happened to me. I mean, look, it's something it used to happen to me randomly. It's
Yeah.
really random. Like,
Right.
it's once in a while. But now I'm
Yup.
like, yo, I just know, like, if I have this, I'm going to have heartburn.
Yup.
And, like, it isn't as if it's like a smart heartburn. No, just like a few minutes and that's it, it's over.
That should be
Nah,
wildin'.
it's like a few minutes and then like, okay, nah, it's not over. This is
Yup.
back.
Nah, I feel you,
Or
bro.
rest and it's back. I'm like, yo,
I feel you.
what is this, bro?
Yep. People be walking around with Tums. That I remember being younger and hearing
Yeah,
people
you
make
used to
jokes
like,
about
yeah,
that shit. I'm
what
like, what
you
the fuck is
doing,
Tums?
bro?
My mom used to have that shit. What the fuck is that? I used to eat it because it looked like candy. I'm like, this is gross. Like, why the fuck you eat this shit? Now I get it.
Facts, bro. It's like, whoa. And headaches also. I be having headaches like, let's say, like the salt or whatever. Or if you're having like not much water.
Yeah.
And it just hit me. So now I be having like, like a little medicine like a pop. If anything,
Nice.
I'm like, yo, I'm freaking old, man.
Nice.
And, oh my
You
God.
ain't even old yet, but yeah, I hear you.
Motion sickness also.
Oh,
like,
nah,
bro,
that ain't get me yet.
Bro, the homies be laughing at me. But like, I just say like on flights and whatnot. Like, oh, it's all haha. But then like, when that plane
Oh, and that
jumping,
turbulence.
I'm smart now. I'm set, bro.
That's
I got
funny.
the motion sickness.
That's
I'm ready
funny.
for that. Cause it's just horrible. Like it's happened to me and I just learned.
Yeah.
I just learned, oh, this ain't it.
Yeah. And that's legit. I think our human bodies will let us know that's like it's a problem. But
Yeah.
how long did it take you to realize that, right? Because you was eating
Yeah.
junk. And I remember eating like
Exactly.
Entenmann's donuts and a 2 liter for lunch
Yeah, for nothing,
every day
bro. Yeah,
in high
yeah,
school. You feel me?
exactly.
Eating
Like it's nothing.
right. So it's but I'm saying like we can get away with it because our body's not really saying nothing. We're still
Exactly.
functioning. But until you get older, then it's like yo alert. But like
Yeah.
the damage is
Yeah.
kind of done. Not to say like I'm healthy, that we still healthy, right? Like
Yeah.
you said you was overweight, you a good weight now, but I mean like I think I think the difference with the phones and the metaverse is that once the damage is done, it's too late. It's like doing heroin or like meth. It's like once you're hooked, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You're hooked, and we are hooked. We're hooked.
But absolutely, yeah, we are. Agreed. But it has happened to me where like exactly it's knowledge, it's knowing, because I mean it's happened to you also. Like I'm sure like you realize on social media like oh it's just normal, and you just look. I'm like, wait, hold on. I've been hanging out here for an hour like
Right.
on my cell phone. It's happened to me where like I'm like, oh nah.
Right.
Oh, this is bad.
Very
This is
bad.
it's a red flag.
Very bad.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so lost in it.
Yo, I'll bring my phone to the bathroom like first thing in the morning. Not like I mean, just because I'm thinking, oh, I'll just respond to these messages while I'm on the toilet, and like, and I'm like,
Half an hour.
and then I don't even
on
think
the
it'll be half an
shit,
hour. I
like,
send
what
my
are you talking
email.
about? Like, what?
I said no, you got half an hour. I wish I send my email. I'm like, oh, let me some alerts on Instagram. Let me look at that. I'm like, all right, it's 1:27. At 1:45, I'm getting off. I look up, it'll be like 2:50. I'm like, yo, what is going on? I just wasted an hour. Like, I ain't even been nowhere. I'm in my bathroom. Like,
Exactly, bro.
That's
It's
what I-
crazy. It's crazy.
that's what I mean when I say like people. That's why time is leaving, because people are not accounting for these little spurts of like
bro.
hour, 2 hours that are just gone from their days. I'm aware of it because when I smoke, that's what happens. Like time gets stolen from me, and I feel like time is just I don't know what the days are. I don't know like I just don't have any concept of it. And I recognize when I quit that like my concept comes back because I get those little random hours back. From just the fact of like smoking, like that weed hangover. I think people are not really catching on to how much time is getting stolen by the metaverse. And in a couple of years, all of our time is going to be in the metaverse because this current world is just going to be so fucked up that we're not going to want to be here. Help who out?
The masses.
We are the masses, bro.
Exactly. So, like, how do we help?
Help in what way, though? Help what?
Like, how do you, like, yo, walk on grass? You know what I'm saying? Shut your phone off an hour, you know, and see what happens.
I think that's just the nature of what's gonna happen. I don't think I mean, listen, I spent most of my life trying to like save the world. It's just a feat of folly. We back. Let's do it.
All right, man. So where were we? You said that you've tried to help the world out like your whole life, but how?
You might have to run that back after I do this. Hold up. I'm gonna add. All right, hold on.
Got the hold on here, shit. Yeah. You don't want the ashy lips, man. You better.
I got the spicy lemonade is burning my mouth.
Alright.
So yeah,
some knowledge, man.
So tell me now what you asking me.
So how did you help the world out, like your whole youth on, you know?
Oh, I ain't helped the world at all. What I said, I tried this. I spent my whole life trying to save the world.
Trying to save the world. Okay.
Yeah.
How is that?
I mean, I was just living in my ego. I guess that I don't guess it. What it was just my faith in God wasn't as strong as I needed it to be. It just wasn't. It didn't exist. Because if I'm trying to save the world, that means that I'm not believing in God and having faith in God to save the world. What does even saving mean, right? I'm playing God by making that judgment.
Right.
So what I mean, so, you know, for me, I just realized, like, you know, I just got to save myself. I'm in control of that. Like, I can't control what people say to me. I can control how I react to it. And I can control, like, contributing to the elevation of consciousness by giving love and spreading love. And that's where I move now. Like, I don't think it's an information thing. Because, like, we were speaking about, like, the phones, and people know that sugar ain't good for them. People know that drugs ain't good for them. People still do the shit. So it's not an information problem, right?
Yeah,
it's a spiritual problem. So when you're saying that, how can we help people, or like, I don't know. Like, and I do know, actually. I do know. I believe that if people were to believe in something greater than themselves, it will create a humility in them that will shift how we interface with each other as humans. And I think if we do that individually, it'll begin to have effects collectively. And there'll be different communities that are just growing in consciousness and growing in love and growing in the body of Christ, to the point where if you have enough of these things moving, it'll be like a wildfire. And the whole world will be like, yeah, I like this love thing. I understand what this is. This fills this hole in me. And I think it will really put an end to all of the things that we're talking about. Because if we really did love each other, we wouldn't need to feel like we need to distract ourselves from anything. We wouldn't be stuck on the phone. When somebody has a fulfilled life, they don't look out for distractions and like addictions. Addictions is really a trauma response. So like when we're talking about helping people in those things, it's way deeper than what we're looking at. It's a spiritual problem that we all dealing with. That's the spiritual war that we're in, and that's what like the end times.
So is it love?
Is
the huge issue you believe is love, of lack of love, of who?
Love, period. God is love, right?
In general.
God is love, right?
Okay.
So if we're lacking love, we're lacking God. It's the same thing.
Okay.
And so we love it. We lack it for ourselves. We lack it for each other. But if you have God's love, if you give your life over and you receive God as, you know, your guiding light, like, I mean, like, that's just directing all your movements. So it's just like, dang, I kind of, my bad.
What?
No, I just had a brain fart and completely forgot what I was talking about and what you asked me.
Nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I said, so, like, what was your role in it? It was.
Oh, I got you. So, yo, I used to try to save the world by, like, I was just so urgent. I was just like, yo, don't you know what's going on? Like, yo, Obama isn't the savior. He's going to set us back. Like, don't you know, like, 9/11 was an inside job. Like, yo, they're trying to kill us with this vaccine. Like, all of these things where it's just like, it's not an information issue. Like, the more you would tell people this, is the more they kind of double down on their stuff because it's all ego.
Yeah.
They're in their ego. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to admit that they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't want to admit that they haven't looked into it as much as I have. And my ego is going because like, hey, I'm smarter than you. I know better than you. And I'm also trying to control things. The fact of the matter is, you know, we have to go in this direction to get to wherever we're going, wherever God has for us. So as much as I'm like, hey, don't you do this? We have to go in this direction. We have to fall as a nation. We have to fall as a society to get back up. So, you know, I think still there's a part of it. I know you're Christian, so I don't mean to disrespect because I believe like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is my like biggest role model.
Okay.
Right. So, but what I mean by that is like when I say I don't want to offend you, it's just like I don't really buy into this waiting for Jesus thing. I feel like that is a control thing where it's like it keeps us passive and not active in this war.
Absolutely.
You get what I mean? So not
that.
waiting for Jesus, but understanding that Jesus can come through us in a way.
Yeah.
We are Jesus because Jesus, it was just like, you know, it was just God appearing to us through a man, right? So we have that capability. I feel like we all have that capability. So that's where the real shift needs to take place. It's not like an information thing.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting because it's like if you wait on him, it's just like, oh, you see, this is all happening, but it's whatever, like, you know, because I'm just waiting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do, like it's all right. Like,
Right.
you could sin, or you could, like wreck the world and make all these wars, but nah, you know? You know what I'm saying? You should do something.
We literally just have to say no.
Right.
We don't have to do much. We don't have to go on the streets and riot and protest. We just say no.
It's so funny because it's so simple. It's like we are the masses.
We just say no.
We are the masses.
You know how many things we said no to when they was like, all right, yeah, chill. They not with it.
Yeah, they not with that.
And then they got to pull back.
Actually, like what? What's
the lockdowns? Like that was like they had to ease up. We was not playing with that shit. They let it happen for a while, but like niggas was not playing that lockdown shit.
Yeah.
Like in New York, it was pretty. They was pretty obedient, but there was moments.
The South was not having it. Like not even one man. Shut the fuck up. We're not gonna be in our houses 24/7.
Just like, and then they was good. I heard Florida. You was out there in Florida?
I was outside, literally.
Right. I heard it was like COVID didn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
in a sense, yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's what I mean. That was a moment of it, and I can think of more if you want me to, but like,
I need one more.
I bet. One moment of people saying no, and it having an actual effect.
That's interesting. Yeah. What is one?
So it happens all the times in rich neighborhoods, but it also brings in like a class element that I might be like ignoring.
Offending people?
Just ignore it. Nah, fuck the offense. I don't care about none of that. If the truth offend you, then good luck. But I just mean like when they try to bring like homeless shelters into certain neighborhoods and they're like, yo, nah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Yo, that's actually a great example because like right around my house, it's like a few blocks away. Like it's like a new, something is happening.
They trying to build a shelter?
No, bro.
Oh, you mean
jail?
Oh, sheesh.
You see, but it's the hood, so it's like it's whatever. Like, yo, shut up. We're fucking building it.
Right.
But like if it's like in Manhattan, like or like richer areas,
right?
I don't be like, yeah, you're not.
Right.
You're not gonna do it.
Right, because they have. That's I say the class thing because those rich people they got connections. They know who to talk to and like there's consequences for it. If you like poor and that's kind of like I'm glad you asking because like if you don't have that kind of a power in society like the finance or networking to like be like no I'm gonna call this congressman and they're not gonna like if you don't have that I guess you're right. But I mean honestly capitalism is the idea of saying no. There's people paying too much for certain things, but the market price that we're paying is defined by us and what we're willing to pay. Like, that's what the society is based on. Like, gas is like $4. If it went to $7, nobody would pay it. But $4 is kind of arbitrary in a sense. Like, all of the prices of everything is arbitrary. It's the same shit, right?
That is interesting because, like, if we said, okay, yeah, we're not going to buy that. And they'd be like, all right. But, like, in a few months, okay, shit, we're not making money. Or we're going to have to, drop the price. Exactly.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
It's
and
crazy.
But you don't even
Exactly.
have to have a conversation. They'll just say, "Oh, they're
Yeah.
not buying it. We
Yeah.
got to do something about it." And that's what I mean by saying no. It's just like, yo, stop complaining about the cars. Like, don't drive. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it. People need cars in this world, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
in theory of just like people having to take make a sacrifice. That's what I meant. And earlier when I was like, yo, people had the courage and the fortitude to just do the hard thing. Because if people was just like, yo, we're not doing any of the stuff you're asking, I'll give you the prompt. Well,
Nah, what is it? Okay. If you out here like, should I say
because
this?
if niggas was just like, I'm not paying taxes, like if everybody said no, we can't all fit in jail.
we can't all fit in jail. Ooh, I'm about to clip that. We can't all fit in jail.
We
But-
can't all fit in jail, boy.
Ah, that's crazy. That is crazy. But like, it is robbery. It's robbery though, because it's like, yo, it's us working, right? Freaking heading to work. Like, and you want a small percentage.
Small.
And then we have to like
I don't know where you get
to
small
hand it
from.
back and,
They-
and whatnot. It's crazy, bro.
They tax us on the income, then they tax us when we spend it.
Yeah.
They taxing us everywhere. They taxing us to own a home. Like some people, like they rent or mortgage might be cheap, but then they property taxes like they can't stick around because they ain't pay that. If you don't pay your
Exactly.
top property taxes, they
Yeah, the property also like, bro, it's like, what the fuck is like, is it bought or not?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Is it my land or not?
Shit, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a
But
racket.
like, yeah, it's absolutely right because it's all because we not saying nothing.
Right. And so here's the deal. If we didn't have cell phones, right? Not to oversimplify it, but I'm gonna oversimplify it because it is all that simple. Like if we just say no, that's it. But like I think that was a part of the old world that you're talking about. Is like we weren't so distracted that we had to face our problems every day.
Right.
So as a healthy human being, how you gonna have the same problem every day? Nah, you're gonna go and make a change so you don't have the same problem every day. And that's
Right.
how like the revolutions in our lives started. People was just like, yo, this is a problem, and like, yo, we just gonna dedicate ourselves to fixing it because we are living in this life.
Yeah.
Now people accept there's problems, but they're like, man, yeah, there's mad problems, and they just swipe away, bro.
That's it.
Right. That's why I say like there's no revolution until Wi-Fi go down. They could do whatever they want. The devil could do whatever they want to us, and we just gonna tolerate it because too many people are just sucked away. They're escaped into the metaverse.
Right. Has it ever happened? Like no Wi-Fi? Like let's say in the whole U.S. or whatever, like at once?
Nah, they had the big blackout. They had two of them, like the whole East Coast kind of thing, where it was like a blackout. But I think it was way before we were this deep into like these mini computers in our pockets. It was still
Yeah.
like maybe a BlackBerry, but it wasn't like we still was outside at that time. I was around for that. Like we were still outside. I drove around with no cell phone, like, and just saw my people. I don't. It was a different time, but in modern times, no, that ain't never happened.
Nah, that's wild. It needs to happen. I feel like it would like solve a lot of our issues.
Maybe yours,
now.
but not Gen Alphas. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing about having this conversation is fun, but like, it's not like a linear. Like, it's so crazy because you saying it'll save you, right? But here's the point of it: it's not gonna save Gen Z and Gen A because that's like taking the air away. They don't know how to function without it. You do. Because you used to play outside. But if Wi-Fi goes down and they don't have Wi-Fi, they will like not function.
Hey, boy. That's not our problem.
Them fuck niggas, fuck you. Fuck y'all.
No,
We lucky. Y'all niggas should have been putting your phones down. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But like, it's almost like we could show them a way, like, or force them.
Yo.
Because if you don't have an option, because there's no Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
adapt.
I think there's going to be no choice. So here's the
Yeah.
deal. Like, the pendulum is swinging. So they've done studies and they've realized that Gen Z is way more Feminism is not as popular. I forget the other points, but culturally, all of the stuff that we understand as being woke, like, you know, feminism and progressivism, and those things are being rejected by the people later on towards the end of Gen Z. So this is like a shift happening where, and on the same breath, there's also people who understand like what we're talking about, even though they're young, and they are choosing not to participate in it. So there is a generation, there is a big population of people who see the bullshit, and they're almost like way more gifted than us. It's like something in the consciousness where they're like really bright from like really young, like their intelligence is just off the wall.
Yeah, they're also hustlers because, you know, they all hate the fucking 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones who are like, wait, why are we clocking in and working freaking all these hours every morning for someone else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We should do our own hustle. And they're the movement. It's y'all for that.
They are. They're gonna.
Absolutely.
They're gonna. So this is why I'm saying, because you was asking how we gonna help them or save them. They're helping and saving us.
Yeah.
Ethereum.
I appreciate y'all for that.
Right. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you.
Ethereum, which is one of the most successful cryptocurrencies, I think the dude was like 16 years old who created that shit.
Word.
Yeah, like these are the kids who like remember growing up. Like one of the things about the internet, like it's a curse, and we're speaking about the curses, but it's the ultimate gift. You got all this information like you can get right now, so kids don't even need to wait till college to pursue what it is that they need to succeed or whatever they're passionate about. They don't have to wait to college to sit in a lecture. They can like do all of that in high school. They can learn whatever they need, and they have access. There's more creative. It's just like you have access, and there's more networks, and so I think like it's still a gift involved. Like it's not just all bad. Right. And there's people who, I mean, people just need to wake up. That's all it really is.
It's funny also because I have had moments of where, like, let's just say it's like a new software or something, and just I didn't know how to use it, and I was around, like, you know, someone who's younger, and I believe Z, and like, oh yeah, bro, look, this is how it is, bro, and I'm like, oh shit,
you old.
I'm old. What?
You the parent. You need that. How you turn it? How you put it on CNN, sonny?
How do you raise the volley? Where's the guide? What?
Yo.
You just what? What do you mean? It's just Bluetooth. You just hit. You just look for something up and just shows up on it. I'm like, whoa.
Yo, that's nuts to think about now that grandparents don't know how to use remotes.
Bro, it's so annoying to me because like that's how it is in Florida. They're like, yo, where's CNN? And I'm like, this isn't my house. I don't know like where CNN is. And they just always know. And like I swear they be like handing me their cell phones. Oh, yeah, where's this? I'm like, I'm not like a rocket scientist. I'm just like,
nah, yeah, facts.
Like, yeah, you know what? I don't know it all.
They expect you to figure it out, but you figure it out. And that's the generational thing that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Right? Because like we that's what's gonna happen to us unless we stay active. Like the same way our parents are, like we not that special. We gonna be just like that with whatever technology, like the person you was talking about, younger person, right, was like something you was tripped up about. That's what's gonna be like AI. Like how you do this? How you do that? It's going.
Yo, exactly, and yo, that's happening like really, really soon because I don't know how to use AI like at all.
It ain't too late.
And you better use AI. People like making rap songs already with like that.
Bro, they have AI.
I'm like, what?
They have AI OnlyFans models making $11,000 a month. It's not real, but she looks real as fuck, and she's making $11,000. This is like how
but it's
programmers
are. They make.
Yes. What you mean a hustle? Like, yeah, so agency. I don't know what you call it. Artificial intelligence. I don't know what you call that realm, that industry, but like, yeah, it's a.
And I'm out here looking for work. What? Like, yo.
If you know how to program and you know how to do that, you could be making $11K off of nothing.
Like that, bro. Oh, that's crazy. Yo, that is insane. But how you heard about that?
That shit is seen this shit on my reels.
Like,
How I heard about that? Oh, because I subscribed to
I
5 of them.
subscribed.
Because I got like,
Shit,
yeah, little
$5,
AI
man.
Becky, what up, baby?
Shit,
If you hear this, if
$3.75.
you see this,
What's up? Let's make a movie.
yo, that's funny.
Yo, nah, that's wild.
Nah, I don't. I
Nah.
can't wrap my mind around OnlyFans, but that's another conversation.
Nah, that's wild. So, let's hop in your music.
My
how do you
music? We
plan-
talking about that? All right, let's do
No,
this.
no, no, not. Okay, so how do you plan on helping the world with your music? Because you are the sire.
Right.
Know what the sire mean?
Well, SIRE means, well, SIRE stands for self-realized individual relinquishing ego.
Okay.
The way that it even came to me as a name is a little esoteric in the sense that, you know, it just felt like I'm still understanding what it means.
Okay.
You get what I mean? But really what it means is, I guess the most simple way to put it is to be awakened, because being self-realized means that you understand the God within. And in order to maintain knowledge of that God within and be acting in that essence, you kind of got to put your ego to the side, because that's how you get into fights, that's how you get into division, and that's how you even get these ideas of like, oh, I'm going to save the world, like, because your ego is driving you. So if you really come to a humility and just really just focus on pleasing God, what can please God? How can I love somebody? How can I like keep my ego in the back? Like, I think that is how I see me saving myself. And so that's what SIRE is, real simply. I mean, I hope it's simple.
Who knows, bro? So like, what is? Okay, so it's not only hip hop and all that, but it's like, what is wrong with the music scene now?
I mean,
Message.
it's
of it
not anything now. It's always been this way.
all. Right.
So, I mean, it was just, you know, they always had these things, these theories about like this and that. I've seen something very recently. It was a CIA agent went to Russia and kind of exposed that, you know, hip hop and how they used hip hop to socially engineer the black population. There's always been talks about this. I think it was Public Enemy who said it, that the goal of hip hop was to keep black men in adolescence until age 35. And by the time they wake up to it, they will have been at such a disadvantage socially that they could never recover. So basically, it just takes these people out of the race. So by the time, if you haven't done any savings, if you haven't like started a family, if you've just been living like this materialistic life and you've just been fucking bitches and like fuck these hoes, like you cheat, like I remember very distinctly feeling ashamed for liking a girl and wanting to take her seriously because of the messages I was getting in music, and I'm not the only one.
Absolutely.
And by the time you like wake up to the fact that you feel me? By the time you wake up to what you're actually doing and participating in, your life is done, and there's no really way to recover. Like, you know, so that is one aspect of it. Another aspect is they say that you know, it was a thing to promote other people's industries. Like private prisons was a very lucrative thing, and so promoting the violence and the drugs is, and so yeah, it was just a way for them to populate that. But also, like, you got to think, like, these record execs, it's like any company, like any movie you watch, you see a Lamborghini in it or an Audi in it, they got paid to put that Audi in there.
Yeah.
So when you got these rappers talking about Duce or Ciroc or whatever they're talking about, like, they're getting paid for all those things. Whatever fashion thing it is, like, it was just extracting all of our resources, our attention, our energy, but it was very clearly bringing us away from God. They're doing it now. They attack the man. They used hip-hop to attack the black man and remove him from the family, and now they're going after the black woman because the man ain't there to protect them. But it's not just hip-hop. No. Pop music was definitely used to push a lot of these agendas, because now everything is gay, but people don't really realize like how it was like a trajectory. It was like 10 years ago, it was Katy Perry saying I kissed a girl and I liked it. She was like curious about it. It was like a lot of curious pop stars. Now everybody just straight gay, but before it was like they was easing it in, seeing how things would like get how people respond to it. But I think pop culture is really just media, music. It's really just the entertainment arm of the architects.
Yeah, I don't like ops, man. I feel like the planet
You don't like opulence? You don't like opulence, bro?
Opulence. So, where was I? So, it's interesting you said execs, like record execs. I hate them because it's almost like, yes, it is about money,
Yeah.
but it's like you would hear him say, "Oh, we love his music. We just loved it, and yeah, we wanted to sign him." But it's like you don't love his music. As a matter of, like it's like your son or whatever. Like you wouldn't like even want to fucking listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Or your daughters. So it's just like evil, bro.
You trying to get banned? You trying to get your podcast taken off the interwebs?
Interwebs. Yo,
Are you?
why? Yeah, who's gonna ban
It's
it?
just yes or no. That
Oh, because what you about to say? Oh, okay, I'll make another one.
you make another one. Yeah, you think, bro? That's so crazy. When
They
they
gonna
canceled
ban me?
Andrew Tate, they canceled this nigga's Uber. They banned him
What?
off of Uber. When they canceled Andrew Tate, they banned him off of apps he don't even use. Nigga didn't need an Uber. He's fucking Andrew Tate, right? He
Really?
was just like, yo, they all got together and like, yeah. So
Yo, that's
just to make
I
you
didn't
aware.
Know that.
just to make you
Yeah,
aware of how
how-
deep it is.
But who's the masses?
Who's the masses?
That's what what I'm saying. It's a simple answer. All right, but not. Okay, let's not wrap.
You want to know what?
That's so interesting. Like why though? Why him?
By him.
Yeah, what is
I-
it about him?
So we can get into it.
Yeah, they
But
just
I
said-
want to make sure that you know the topics that you want to talk about because
Okay.
you did intro it saying that you wanted to talk about Hollywood and conspiracies, but they got rid of Andrew Tate because he was awakening the masculine in society.
Okay.
You felt that? Oh my bad. I didn't mean to. It
It's
just felt a
shaking.
vibration, something shaking,
Yeah, I
right?
felt it. And they shaking us up because you said that. Yo, it's crazy. Yo,
That is nuts.
it's interesting because the subway, maybe.
That subway is above. It's not even underground. We're
Yeah,
in the
you felt that?
basement.
It's interesting because it is as happening before. Like, there is episodes I shot where, like, let's just say, like, you mentioned something that's, like, super weird and something would mess up. But it seems like, oh, haha. But, like, it's pretty weird, bro.
It is very weird.
Damn.
It does happen like
I feel
that.
like I should shut my phone off or something.
I mean, I used to be like that, honestly. Listen, a lot of the stuff I used to experience, this is why, like, a lot of the stuff I used to experience, people wouldn't believe me because it would be weird like that. And I
Yeah.
think I was so intense about, like, trying to save the world and sharing all this information that I think people would think I was schizophrenic if I told them.
Okay.
But sometimes I'd be on a website finding out about some information, what we talking about, and, like, my phone will just reset. And all the notes I was taking in the notes app would be disappeared. And the website that I was on wouldn't be in my history.
I ain't gonna lie. I just shut it off. Fuck it.
I mean, it's never off.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact.
It's never off. But I
It's
mean,
crazy.
yeah, anyway, we could go down that rabbit hole. But Andrew Tate got canceled because he was awakening up the masculine. It's one thing to, like, feel a certain way, but it's another thing to be validated by other people who are feeling the same way.
Right.
So there's a lot of people who is just not with this woke stuff. They're not with this feminization of men. They're not with the masculinization of women. They just don't like this direction that society's going in. It's a literal antichrist agenda. Like, everything that is, they're distorting what truth is. They're making multiple truths. If you go away from truth, then you got chaos. Long story short, a lot of these young boys was feeling like, isolated, no purpose in anything, and Andrew Tate was awakening that in them. And the reason why they have so much phone and porn, like, my bad, the reason why they have so much, like, porn and, like, all of these distractions is because if you keep men occupied and, like, dejected, they can't stand up and fight for themselves and their family.
Yeah.
And Andrew Tate was inspiring that in people.
Yeah, that's interesting because he really was. I'm not gonna lie.
People was like, oh, I could not give a fuck and just do my thing and be good and be great and just, that's it. And like, yeah. And that's how men always were. He's only like 35, 36 years old. It's not like some 50-year-old guy saying, back in my day. He's just like, yo, this shit happened in like a couple of years.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got him because he was the most Google man in the world.
Bro, it's so random because it's like, bro, he was hot for like a few months. That's it, max.
Oh yeah, they
Max.
shut that shit down.
Bro, not even like a year, bro.
They shut that shit down.
It was super quick, bro. Super.
Right.
Yo, it's insane.
They were threatened by that level of power. He's a genius. People like to hate on him, but they call him like a scammer. But like his marketing scheme made him the most Googled man in the world. Like he's a genius.
Yo, he's
Nobody's
smart,
done
bro.
that. Nobody's done that. And he's smart, but just even if it was just marketing, like
Yeah.
you hear us in his interview, you know he's intelligent. He knows what's up. But like
Yeah,
that marketing scheme, bro,
That's a fact.
nobody. He broke the internet.
Yeah.
The most Google man, more than any president. So like, yo, that's nuts.
Yo.
Yeah, think about that. The most Google, not just for one day, for like you said, months. People was like, who is Andrew Tate? Like just trying to find out more.
Yo, that's wild, man. Yo, he really is smart, man.
He knows what's up. That's all it is. I remember seeing like some of them like red pill shit and like he'd be on the interviews and I would like, I would just kind of be like,
Yeah, that
these
is over,
niggas.
isn't it? The rep shit.
I don't even
It
know.
sort of died off.
I hope so.
It
but
was hot for like a while.
It was hot for a minute.
But it was not even helping, bro. Like you heard all this shit. It's not like it sounds like it's masculine, but like it was also like a lot of nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, it was
just like, oh, but what the fuck? Like, he's a simp. Like, see, what?
Yeah. I think what happened
You're
is
showing, like love, like or showing some love for someone. He's a simp. Nah, that's not the right message.
Well, simps exist. Let's
it
be clear.
exists.
Simps
It
exist.
exists. But like, bro,
I think what the bigger issue was that there was just people who really were not. It was just like people just trying to get content. So it was like you didn't really know what they was talking about. So I think I think the red pill is similar to like in toxicity to what feminism is to women. Like it kind of just has it's an ideology that lets people get their frustrations out and find community in like this toxic world where you feel me? But I think there was merit to a lot of to a large portion of what the red pill is saying because that's what Andrew Tate is, right? There's red pill, but like look, I ain't even gonna get into that because I don't give a fuck about the red pill enough. My point was though, I would see him on these platforms and I would clearly see these people who are just like grifters and just like, oh yeah, this is the hot thing. Let me jump on this bandwagon. But he was always saying like, he was always trying to wake people up. He was always trying to wake people up. He wasn't so aggressive and like inconspicuous. He wasn't like letting you know, but I heard it because I speak the same language. So I was like, yo, I gotta look out for him.
It's interesting you say that because I'm hearing all this and I know you, and I'm like man, it's like if you had a show, that shit would be lit. But the same would same would happen.
The same wouldn't happen to me because, all right, so my goals growing up was to just get rich enough to do what Andrew Tate is doing. To the point where Andrew Tate only did that because he set himself up for that. The same thing Kanye was trying to do. He bought his land, he bought his masters, he owned things, and he had everything good so that if anybody was to cancel him, he'd be good. That was always my goal. I didn't look at it in canceling. I didn't even know what that would mean. Like canceling is just a byproduct of like being in a communist society. Canceling has always been a thing in communism. Right. But I just meant like, all right, if I got to go to Mars, whatever, I just need to make enough money off this music that I could escape the bullshit.
Yeah.
And so Andrew Tate literally was the prototype of an untouchable person. He had all his own money, didn't even live in America. He didn't even have social media. How do you get banned on Instagram and you don't got an Instagram page?
Really?
He didn't have a TikTok. No. That's what I mean when I say his marketing was genius.
Yeah.
He would do his own thing and then everybody else put it on the website. And
exactly.
it was like
I've heard about
a
that, yeah.
not a Ponzi scheme, but it was a multi-level marketing scheme where the more they knew that Andrew Tate was so popping that if you posted Andrew Tate, you would get money. So everybody was incentivized to post his shit. But long story short, yeah, if I started a show, nobody would give a fuck about me because I don't got that kind of influence. But like you said, if I was doing it long enough and like my shit was hitting,
yeah, because I mean,
now
okay, him like it happened off rip, but it's just because it's like I don't like know who he like was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now I get what you mean.
Yeah, before that. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
get
I'm
what
not
you
sure,
mean.
like what like his rise was, you know, exactly like at the lower level. You know what I'm saying? Or how long.
He was okay. My bad. I know what
Yeah.
you mean though.
Yeah.
And you're right. And you're right.
But exactly.
Because if I
like
get that kind of influence, they would just be like, "Yo, stomp that nigga out." That was always my biggest fear, to be honest. A lot of my that's my fear. That was
I'll
my
be next also because like okay, this one be hanging out with him. He be having him on an episode. You clear him out as well. No more podcasts.
That is spooky that we think like this.
Chill, bro. We just boys. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yo, in communism, that's how society is. Like we joke about this shit, but like you could get arrested if you didn't snitch on me. If I was saying some wild shit on your podcast, if you didn't go, damn, my bad. That's
Are you
gross.
good?
If you didn't go and tell like the authorities that I was saying like unpatriotic things, then you're like the same way as me. So it's like incentivized. Like see something, say something. That's like World War II.
Yeah.
Like not propaganda. Like that's how this, bro. Yeah. It's like we not far from like full blown communism, but
So, what's the name? Your plan is like to make the money in order to have, you know what I'm saying, the flexibility to say whatever you want.
no, that's not my plan. I mean, my plan is to get money, right? But
Okay.
I think honestly, right now, I just want to please God.
And how are you doing that? Or how do you plan on
So
doing that?
So in the esoteric sense, just to answer, because you know, walking a straight and narrow path is how you please God. You just share the gospel, you share the good news, and so essentially that. But beyond that, because you know, I spent a large portion of my life agnostic, like just understanding that I didn't know enough about all of the religions and even about Christianity, which is the mainstream one. I didn't know enough to like decide and be like, okay, you got me. And, you know, Jesus did come to me in somebody in the flesh and like, you know, converted me. But, damn, I don't know if I'm ready to do all of that. I'll say this. You said, what you asked me, what does pleasing God mean?
Well, how are like you pleasing
Yeah.
in your life?
Right.
I would say.
Because you asked this question, and I think we had got caught up because you was asking me like you was asking me like what I'm doing with all right, my bad. Let me just answer you. So when I say pleasing God, I mean not focused on the money. Like I'm not doing like I know there's a plan like for monetization for what I'm doing, but my goal is to like transform people, and so transform people's hearts, and in turn transform their minds. And so for me, I was overthinking and overcomplicating my mission. Like, you know, I put it like this. I was on a train one day. I seen this homeless dude. I assumed he was homeless, kind of raggedy, and he had this rosary in his hand, and he was just walking down. And then as soon as you open up the door, everybody's like, oh. And granted, there was a couple people that kind of was panhandling before, but they was like, oh. He's like, oh, gosh, shut up. Oh, you guys, miserable as hell. So ungrateful. You just had a long day at work. So what? At least you got a job. At least you could afford the train to go home. At least you got a home to go to. Like, he just broke it down so simple walking through. He was like, you guys, this is crazy. I don't have none of those things. These people try to give him money. He didn't want the money. Literally, he just sold those message. He said that message. It was deeper than that. I think he was said some other things. He was just talking about gratitude, and he was just saying about, I forget what he was talking about, but it was profound in me that he got off at my stop and I ended up talking for like 20 minutes, but it showed me how you can do God's work. It don't got to be like in this big church, or you don't got to be doing, it's like very simple. Just tell people the truth. And so me seeing him do that made me know that it was possible to just be a soldier for God in a simple way. I don't got to be this big thing. It don't got to be like I'm starting this big prog. Yeah, you could, even if I'm like a cashier at a job, right? I could be a cashier, a waiter. I could be a server or a bartender. And everybody I speak to, I could just give them love, and I could still be a bigger soldier than if I'm isolated trying to overthink, right? So when I say please God, that's what I mean. Like, just, so my bad. In the more specific terms to me, when I say please God, I just mean sharing my testimony. Okay. And when I hear other people's testimony, that's what got me to convert and give my life over to Christ, right? Of hearing people, like, when people share their testimony, like, yo, this is where I came from and then God saved me, like, hearing those things is what will intrigue people and want to, like, you know, get curious and seek out the word and seek out more truth. And so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to just tell my story, and I mean, just talk about my journey. Yeah.
It's awesome hearing that, like, it's really beautiful because, like, it's, like, you know, it's what we all need. You know what I'm saying? It's to be grateful. Because, I mean, like, we all want more. It's so normal. And, yeah, you need money. But, like, it's happened with me also. It's just like, I'm like, oh, man, like, you know, I love that place. Oh, I like this place, you know. Oh, shit, I want to live here. Oh, I want a new Honda or whatever. And it's just like, it's want. But it's interesting because, like, my needs are all met. You know, am I hungry? No, I could eat. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, shit, like, you know, I need to work. I could make some money. You know what I'm saying? A roof, I have that.
Right.
Wheels, I have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, homies, like, you know, shit, love.
Bro, you got health.
Families.
You woke up this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, we have all this, but it's just like we always want more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cycle.
Right.
Of like, yo, I don't have enough, man. I don't have enough. I need more.
Even if you're not thinking it, it's a part of you. Because, like, he called it out. Like, they all upset. Like, why are you upset? Like, you alive. Why is somebody coming on the train upsetting you? You know, he said a prayer. And he ended up giving me the rosary. I kept it just as like a notion, like a reminder of like, dang, this dude just gave me his rosary. He's homeless. He don't got nothing. He gave me his rosary. That's how much it was just like, nah, I just want to share the good news, man. And then when like he went into some long thing about, and then Matthew 5, he ain't do none of that. He just told the truth. And then did a little prayer and then left. And I was like, that's it. That's that simple.
You just look on the next one.
Yeah.
Like, and he's slapping people up.
Right? Yo, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. And I actually be inspired, too. Shit, yo.
Hey, man. But, like, I freaking hate it. Because hearing all that, it helps. And just it helped me. Like, it helps me. Oh, okay. You know, I have what, like, my needs are met.
Yeah.
I have it. And it helps me, like, like, exhale. Mm-hmm. But usually it's only for like a few hours or like a week max. And then I'm like, you know, on the cycle of wanting more. I'm like, what? Fuck, you know? I fell off of it.
Well, here's one thing. This is what I think prayer should be heavily gratitude focused. Because, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of prayer shouldn't even have words. But if you really... You know, I think about a big part of praying is expressing gratitude. And there's a lot of self-help people who kind of live by this thing of like, you know, they have a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. But at the end of the day, if you're praying every day, that's what I think, like, you know, it should be the priority is like expressing gratitude to God. So if you're praying every day, it wouldn't be as difficult to remember. Because if you're like, yo, God, thank you for waking me up. And if you pray humbly, like, where you're not asking for material things, where you're just kind of asking to be used, then it just keeps a humility in you.
Right.
And that's kind of where I say I'm at with my music. Like I'm just gonna be like, well, I wrote these songs. They mean something to me. People do tell me like they are experiencing the same things that are in my song, and they listen to it when they're going through it. So it's just like, okay, it has. I don't need anything greater. Even if I don't do a lot of the content stuff that I'm thinking about, like I've done the job. A lot of these songs I didn't even write. Like God wrote them like in a moment. Like, you know. So it's just like being focused on spreading I don't even, it's kind of weird because I want to say spreading the gospel, but it's not even like I'm not a Christian rapper. But for me, all I know is that the importance of having role models. The importance of having role models, it goes very understated.
Who's yours? I'm sorry.
Growing up in rap, Lupe Fiasco was one of my biggest role models. Cause I didn't think there was a lane for me. Cause I didn't want to rap about ratchet shit. I was rapping about all the gangster shit. I was like fake gangster. Yeah. Like, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn, pre-gentrified. Like, you just couldn't avoid this shit. But also, like, everything you listen to, all the culture is just like, yo, you know what I mean? Everything is gangster. Like, you just gotta be macho and machismo. And so I was that, and I was, you know, getting arrested, you know, in and out of that shit, like fighting, just doing knucklehead stuff. And my music reflected that. All of the raps I would make. And I realized, you know, after like being in jail, I'm like, nobody looks like me. Nobody, no, they look like me. They black, but it's just like, this ain't my people's. And when I realized like I just need to like live my life and be truthful, and try to help people, I just didn't think that was possible. I heard Lupe Fiasco have a song called Dumb It Down, where it sounded like a trap song, but he's actually telling people like the truth. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, there is a way that you can tell the truth. You just mix it in with like a mainstream sound. So there's a way that you can get in here. It's not all black or white. And so once I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But without him, I wouldn't have had even a model to understand that that's possible. And so that's where I'm like underestimating my power. I don't need anything great or big. All I got to do is just do it. Some other young Sim is going to look and be like, yo, Sim is doing it. I mean, I could do it too. And that's good enough for me. No, before I needed more than that. But like, that's all I need. You feel me?
Is selling your soul real?
Selling your soul is 100% real. What do you mean by that, actually? I don't know.
Because it's just like said so much in songs now. Like it's really, like it's almost like it's ramped up way more. Like, oh yeah, I sold my soul for this and that and that and that, and it's said. And it's like it's almost like, how does it happen and what does it mean to sell your soul or sell out?
That's a great question. I put it like this. See, people, I think they hear selling of the soul and they think of like, you know, eyes like wide shut, rituals and all of these things. It could, I'm 100% positive they do those things. Well, like, I don't know. But my point is selling the soul, I think when, it's sort of like how they put the devil in red horns and the tail and the cape, and so that you're looking out for that, and you're like, oh, if that's not the devil, then, like, that's not the devil. Selling the soul might be, you know,
it's almost like you're switching sides. Oh, this is your master now. So
I'm about to break it down.
Okay.
So people think about the devil like as selling the soul, but really, I mean, my bad. So people think of these rituals when they say selling the soul, but selling the soul can be something as simple as how I spent 5 years of my life doing like 80-hour weeks in television.
Right.
Like, I didn't see my family. I didn't see my friends. Like, all of my life was deprioritized, and I prioritized, like, me making it in this career. I had no soul. I lost myself. I had no real essence of me. 5 years, I sold my soul to the television industry. Another instance is I'm in a toxic relationship with a girl, and I understand that she's toxic, but the sex is so good. So I know that I can't have certain conversations with her because it'll going to end up in a fight, or she might hold out in sex. Like, I'm leaving myself out, and I'm not telling the truth of what I actually believe, and I'm not showing up as a human with my actual soul in this relationship because I've sold it for her pussy. And so, like, there's, like, small ways that we sell our souls. It's not always, and that's why I say it's, like, very dangerous for us to believe in just in the rituals.
Right.
And so that does happen in Hollywood because it's not always a ritual, but it's like, okay, yeah, I know what the truth is, and my soul doesn't want me to lie, but I want that money more. And so I'll leave my truth and I'll leave my soul at the edge, in the corner, and I'll just pursue this thing. And that's what it really means. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's like you know, it's almost like you're just selling out. You know what I'm saying? And showing the wrong message, or so in hip hop and rap. So like what let's say there's like rappers who are like not like, you know. Well, hold on. Okay. Let's just reset.
Yeah, actually, hold that. Let me pour it.
Nah, you good. Pour it up. This ain't Henny though. This ain't Henny. This healthy.
It's healthy. It's not Henny. It's healthy.
Are there any like huge rappers, like huge, like who haven't, I'm saying, sold out,
Rappers? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
or that isn't real? Like, you know, it's almost like you have to sell out in order to reach the highest level.
That's why the architects right now are so urgent, because the things have shifted in technology where we don't need to go through these evil executives
The music labels, yeah.
and companies and corporations. We don't need to sell our souls to be on television and or not say be on television, but just to get the kind of popularity or eyes on us. Rap wise,
And mind you, it's just rap because you like you know you rap, so it's just like an easier genre in order to represent. But yeah,
that's an interesting assumption that I just limit myself to rap because I'm a rapper.
oh yeah, I'm sorry about that shit, but you
I
know
never
what
called
mean.
myself a rapper either.
Nah,
This
I
is
feel
real
you.
interesting, but go ahead.
No, it's all on you, man. The floor is yours. Which rapper?
I was.
It's hard, right? It's almost like why?
No,
Why is it so hard?
I'm gonna answer you, Nas. I mean, well, it depends, like what you mean, though. Ask again.
So, let's say at the highest level of hip hop and rap, like, is it almost as if like you have to sell out, or else you not reaching that height?
So, I mean, at the height of any industry, you have to be completely dedicated
Right.
and willing to give it all. That's where I was 5 years ago on television. Like, yo, I need to make it in this. I want to be a director. I want to be a music video director. I want to make movies like Kanye West Runaway. Like, I just knew that I had to bust my ass and give it all to this industry. I put up with a lot of shit. Like, sometimes I wouldn't get paid. Sometimes I'm doing 16-hour days. Sometimes I'm working through the weekend straight. Not even a 16-hour day, like 48 hours, whatever you want to call it. Like, not a weekend for 3 months. I mean, for a month. Like, and I don't see that as any different than somebody understanding the opportunity they might have in music. When, like, before you had TikTok and social media, you needed to go get signed to a label. You wouldn't have the resources to get put out. So you were like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes. So I think when you're more desperate for the money than you are for God, that's very simply how you break it down in terms of how I sell my soul. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That doesn't fulfill my soul.
Okay.
When you say like, okay, that I'll suck your dick because it's just dick sucking. And it's really not. Because, like, honestly, like, this is gay as hell, right? But sucking dick is like, it's just a physical act. It's like the psychology behind it. So, like, spiritually, though, you know that it's something you don't want to do. And that's why it's really, like, eats at you. If I have sex with a girl, I'm not going to think twice about it. Because I want it. I don't want to go too deep into this analogy because this is gay as hell. Yeah. But what I'm really trying to say is,
it's interesting you mentioned that, because it's almost like that's what's used by
and that's exactly
now, as in, like, yo, you want this money?
That's exactly why I brought it up.
Yeah, on your knees right now.
That's exactly why I brought it up, because right now what's going on. That's exactly why I brought it up, because right now what's going on is a lot of stuff with Diddy.
Yeah, that sounded crazy. Whatever you just did, that sounded crazy.
So they coming at Diddy, and his mentor was Andrew Harrell, and his mentor was Clive Davis, and so what is rumored now is that Diddy was groomed.
Yeah. I saw the clips.
He was groomed in terms of like how to, run. Like Diddy could make anybody a star. Period.
Right.
Like I mean, it's just a real addiction to power. That's really what be going on.
Yeah.
And that happens not just with Diddy, but that happens on many levels. And I could definitely see that happening all over Hollywood and television. Yeah.
Nah, absolutely, bro. So, like recently there was a few clips actually about like Will Smith, like the rumors with him. Also, what's the shorty, like
Jada?
no, Wright something.
Jaguar Wright.
Yeah, she said about Will Smith or whatever, and his production assistant, whatever, was hitting him, and he was like, and he's playing around, like, in these rooms, you know what I'm saying, like with him and everything, and it's like, oh, okay, this is like all over the place.
I'll tell you this. I remember one day I was out partying in the city, and I think I was like doing Molly. Like we was like in the meatpacking district.
Yeah.
It was like very typical New York, like rich people partying. Like I had, and you do Molly, you can't sleep. So me and my boy, we just like, yo, this party can't be over 4 a.m. Like, yo, nah. So we just kind of just mobbing around the city. I end up meeting this girl, and she's just like, she's on the same type of time we are. She trying to party. So she ended up coming through with us, and we chilling, and she's like, yo, you got Coke? I was like, and I did. I had Coke just because I knew the girls liked it, and I was partying with white. It's like partying and meatpacking. Like, if you ain't got Coke, like, you ain't cool, right? So I had it for her. And then, so it was done. I ain't have a lot. I had like a fucking bag just to like, have a girl do a bump. Yeah. So anyway, so we chilling and we all like, we back at the crib and she's like, yo, you ain't got no more Coke? I'm like, nah. She's like, get some more. And I don't know who sells Coke. I didn't even have a plug. I think I got this from a friend that I was partying with. Yeah. Anyway, she's like, yo, come on, please. Like, what you got to do? Like, pimp me. Like, get money. Like, she was to the point where she said, yeah. She was asking me to pimp her. She was just so desperate for the drugs. And so I bring that up to say, that's what she was asking me. She just was that desperate for the money. I mean, for the drugs. She was like, whatever, bro. It's just like, yo, it don't matter. She's like, don't you know something? Like, she didn't care. She was that deep in. And so what happens is people like Diddy or like just evil people vampires, like they will just go and find people like that and exploit their situation. Right. And once you get them hooked on whatever it is, like, so somebody had to get her hooked on all of those things. Like, okay, it could have happened for herself, but based on what I read, somebody got her hooked on it. And so what happens is, like, I saw another clip where Diddy actually brought a little white girl, and it reminded me of that same girl I was just telling you about. And he was like, yo, introduce yourself. And she was like, yeah, my name is Casey, and I'm a Scorpio. And he was like, no, just tell them like what you do. So it was like weird that she was just like, why are you telling people you a Scorpio? So it felt very weird, like it was being pimped. But it was the same energy of like, if you get somebody off the street or if you get somebody down and out and you get them addicted to whatever it is you got, whether it's power, whether it's influence, whether it's money or fame, or just the network of being around some celebrities, if you get them hooked, they're your slave. And the key part of getting hooked is having your ego. My bad. And so you can only get hooked if you have a big enough ego, an unhealthy ego, where people can exploit your needs, because an ego develops in such a big way when you're hurt. My bad. You develop an ego when being traumatized as a child, and so evil people will recognize that in you and exploit that. And so I think a lot of that happens on
like, has
bigger
it ever
levels.
happened to you?
What exactly?
Like exploited, or like, or someone say, yo, yeah, it looks like you need money. Do this for me or whatever.
I mean, no, I've never pimped myself out.
No. I don't mean like nothing.
It happens all the time.
Sexual. I just mean like.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time. This is like how manipulators move, right? So you might have an instance where maybe those people who give out flyers on the side of the road. Yeah. Like generally, people see the flyer, they're like, no, But was there ever a time where you might have took a flyer and kind of hung around and you kind of like, I want to leave, but like, you kind of stuck around? Like maybe the person said something to you?
Maybe, yeah.
Right, that happens a lot. Because what ends up happening is they'll feed you a compliment. They'll play to your ego and then they rope you in. Mm-hmm. So I did have that happen to me. It was a friend of mine who actually was a pimp. And
a friend of mine who actually was a pimp.
Yeah, he was a pimp.
I don't have that like in my history of friends.
Right.
Oh, I've met a pimp.
Yeah, he was a pimp. I would ask him for like, tell him what's going on with my shorties. He would tell me that advice. I'm like, oh yeah, he was a pimp. But I remember one time he almost tried to pimp me, not sexually, but like he had something, I was like into street shit. So it was like some shit I was going to buy. And he had like, I already had my thing going on, but he's like, yo, I got some good shit. Like, I got some good stuff. Come try it out when you ready. And, he hit me up. And I wasn't really pressed to go get what he had because I had my own thing going on.
Yeah.
One day he called me. He's like, yo, what's good? And he was just like, yo, man, like, yo, you need to stop playing with yourself, man. Like, he was just like, yo, you was like, you mad great. Like he just fed everything that he felt like I was missing.
Yeah, he's planting to see, like,
yeah,
this right here.
No.
You don't have this.
But no. See, you going ahead of this. He didn't mention none of that. It was just 20 minutes of like, yo, bro, like, yo, you're mad talented, like, you're mad this, like, you're special, all true. And I knew he believed it, but within the context of the conversation, I knew he was just like, he's risen me up. And at the end of it, he was like, yeah, man, but whenever you around, man, come through, come get this, and And I went in like 2 days. And like I said, I didn't need it or anything. And I kind of knew what he was doing, but I guess I needed that in the moment. And most of us do need that. We all kind of like desperate for validation.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get that from our parents, and we like really just out here looking for it.
Damn.
So people will take advantage of that. Even with like the girls who get pimped, they ain't get no father's love. So a man who understands that and understands what she's missing from a father, he will step in and try to present that to her.
Yeah, that's really necessary. Like, bro, having like having that like role is, I don't know, man. It's like it's really essential because like you see it all over social media now. We're just like, oh yeah, I have like 87 bodies or whatever, and it's nothing to her and all that. And it's like, yo, like, I mean, it's a shame for men, like, as well. Like, it's not one-sided. You know what I'm saying?
I think
if
it is,
just
but okay.
I don't know, the Christian here.
I mean,
But,
it is what it means. If you haven't, my bad, go ahead.
No, that's all I had. I just it's just necessary having, man, the father figure
Oh yeah.
in their lives. All right.
Yo.
What's up?
So I know we've been talking about a whole lot of things, and I know like I've been going off on all these tangents, but I know that you brought me here. Maybe because I worked in television for a while and I'm in the music business, and I know you wanted to talk about conspiracy theories in the music industry. How did you intro it? Because like I want to be fair to your podcast and like honor that, because I know I could like go all these different places and everything. So
yeah,
let's bring it back to what you wanted to. You know what I mean?
It is hard because like, yeah, there's like all these routes and all that, like, with, with Hollywood and the music, and it's like more about like what happens, like, like behind the closed doors and all that, the shady shit or whatever.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
maybe.
Like, what's on your mind? Like what do you know?
I know this. Like, I don't think most people know me for like working in television. I think I'm so removed from like putting myself out there like that people don't know me like that. So I just want to clear up that I wasn't in it that deep to be knowing what goes on in them parties, right? I got an idea because I just seen it and I'm like intuitive and sensitive enough. I just know that people are desperate for fame, like they're desperate. People are desperate. And so they will do crazy things just to get whatever they're desperate for. And a lot of it is just attention.
Right. No, you good? The mucus?
Yeah, it's clearing me. There's a cayenne is crazy.
Gosh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. All right, but yeah, my fault.
So yeah, I mean, what I recognized, I spent like, I guess I bounced around all over the TV industry, and I like,
Right.
but when I was and film industry, but when I was in TV for a good 3 years, I was working on 2 shows in particular where I was meeting like celebrities, like up into the A-list, like every day, every a couple of days, right? And so one of the things that I noticed is that they end up living in this bubble where the people around them are, we're talking about desperation, right? These people that work for them. So they know that, you know how they say women don't like the truth? Like, you know, sometimes a man will be like, you know, I want to tell her the truth, but then she gonna get mad at me, and then we're gonna be fighting, and then I gotta, like, you know, I want to tell her how I really feel, but then she gonna get hurt, and then, you know what I mean? It's just like a thing. So that happens with a lot of celebrities where if the people around them telling the truth, they'll get fired. And so, because they'll upset them, right? So if in a relationship you're starting a fight, but if you paying these people, like, get the fight, what you say to me?
Yeah.
And then you hire somebody else to say yes and give you the validation that you need. So what happens is you get these toxic circles. Every one of these celebrities has a circle around them, and they're all enabling the bullshit. And so they live in this delusion, and they actually just go into a different world. Like, it's a different society because they're living in a complete lie, and everybody's like kissing their ass. It's just, none of it is real. And on some spiritual level, I feel like a lot of them know that. And so they cope with a lot of different things. So I noticed a lot of them was just doing mad pills. Some of them would leave drugs on set. Like, it was just, all of them just had some things going on.
Really?
And so I think when you get to that point, like, you can't trust, because on some level, you know people is lying. And if you're narcissistic enough, you don't even care. But when you're that narcissistic and you're like that fame hungry, you're just desperate enough that people will see that and take advantage of you. And they just groom you. They'll send you clues, and they'll bring you into the office and see if you're ready to cross over. And that's really what it'd be like. I don't think it, like, I even seen a clip recently. It was like, you know, I think it was one of Diddy's bodyguards. And he said he would knock on the door in the hotel, and Diddy would just open the door naked. He's like, yo, this is disrespectful, man. You know, he didn't say that to Diddy because Diddy's paying him. So, you know, he just had to walk away. But it's just like, this is little things that they do to kind of see if you're ready. Yeah, if you don't say, like, yo, Diddy, what are you doing? That's disrespectful. That knows you ain't got strong enough boundaries. He going to try the next step now. And then the next step,
who knows,
maybe now y'all sitting next to each other naked. And now maybe it's like, yo, who knows? But that's how it is. It's little by little. It's grooming.
Yeah.
People do that with kids. They don't just outright just molest you and shit. Like, they don't know if you're going to tell your mother or tell the police. They got to groom you, and it's little by little. It's small things. It's like getting changed in front of the little kid. I don't even want to get too far into that, but like,
yeah, don't.
But I'm just saying, it's like little things that the kid wouldn't even recognize. But this is a great point, because the kid is just so naive, and they might just like the attention that they're getting or the safety that they're getting from this adult, but the adult is exploiting them, and that's just a relationship they have. Because these kids, these celebrities, they are like kids in a way.
Yeah, in a sense, it's like, yo, being known is just like, it's a horrible drug, man. Absolutely. And it just ruins your whole, like, man, like, it seems nice, but like, you know, let's say, you see, right now, like, I'm always on walks, you know, like, you know, I'm shopping, I'm just hanging out, let me just roam around, and hang out here, and it's mad normal, like, it's an option, because, like, I'm not known.
Right.
If you're someone who's in Hollywood, or like a huge rapper, like, you know, or whatever, that's not happening. Well, that's over. And if it happens, it's just super annoying now. Because, yo, look who it is.
Right.
And it's like, okay. Right. It sucks.
So one thing I want to say, and this is like going back to answering your question about what selling your soul means, because I think I was given a way too esoteric answer, and I know you're talking about Hollywood. Selling your soul means that when they'll tell you, and they'll give you the powers to be that charismatic and influential. They'll give you that influence, but they control everything about you. So that's one part that I left out because I know I likened selling your soul to like working many hours in this industry. It is very different because when you get to that point, you are living the Truman Show life. Like if you've seen the Truman Show where everything is around you, is you don't know who's who and who's planted. That's a real deal life. That's what Kanye's been talking about this whole time. He can't trust anybody around him because it could be sent by the CIA legitimately. It could be sent by the record exec. He literally has somebody who was corrupting with his doctor and was like, yo, we can make you go to the loony bin again.
Yeah.
Like this is legit. You don't know who's who. Like Michael Jackson before he died was like, yo, the doctors are trying to kill me.
That's
So
horrible,
and that's
bro.
how they killed him. They all you gotta do is switch a vial, and maybe you don't do it directly. Maybe you just give an intern nurse $50,000, or you just make her do it and you kill her because nobody knows her, and that's how you get the poison into Michael Jackson. But as you was talking, I remember when you asked me about like a successful rapper that didn't sell out. Russ is probably the biggest independent guy, and he hasn't been signed. So I would say Russ. There's a lot of independent people doing it now, but just I couldn't think of rappers, but Michael Jackson is the ultimate like person who is spreading love. Like I don't know if you've seen, there was this one song he had where it was like called Why Earth or Earth Cries or something like that, and he was just like, it was just so beautiful. It was just like a song of just like, yo, his songs are like, it don't matter if you're black or white or they don't really care about us. That's all like fight songs. It's love fight songs though. It's not like fight. It's fighting for love.
Yeah.
He was
All about it.
And he was signed.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was independent. He was signed to a label.
So, what happened with him? Because I mean, his health was all right. It's like I'm sure they're like, all right, like he's onto something. We have to get rid of him.
I heard
What?
Michael Jackson was planning a speech. I heard couple different things. Well, for one of my mans knew somebody who was on his team, and he said like a couple months before that he was firing people left and right. So I think he knew something was up. And but I heard that on one hand, I heard that he was considering converting to Islam, or maybe he had converted already and he was about to announce it and like kind of make it popular, and they was just like, nah, we're not doing that. I heard that. I also heard that he was gonna make some special announcement, and it was supposed to be, because right before he died, he was gearing up for like a humongous tour, and he had like a movie coming out too. It was like bigger than anything he did.
Yeah.
And I think he had a special announcement. I forget what was going on in the political climate, but I think it was like people knew he had a special announcement. I think they just got rid of him before he made whatever announcement that was. But Michael Jackson's influence, he's probably more powerful than the president of America, the United States of America.
I'm sure.
So like,
Sure. There's
and
no doubt.
that's one of those people where like Andrew Tate, like I said, he like invigorated that masculinity in men. Michael Jackson just had everybody. If he would have been like, yo, stop fighting, like whatever he said,
People would have been like, okay, maybe we shouldn't.
they wouldn't say maybe. You don't know Michael Jackson,
Like,
bro.
yee, for sure.
Bro, it'll be a block party outside of Michael Jackson's hotel just because he's there.
Yo, yeah, I'm sure, bro. Yeah, dog, that shit was wild for sure, man. But like, it's hard because it's like now it's almost like if you plan, it's like it should only like if it's something huge, it's something like really groundbreaking. It's like it should only be you and someone else or even nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's like you know, as you were explaining, like you know, he's planning something. You know, someone snitched.
Right.
Someone knew.
Right, but that's what I mean though. You don't know who's who. It could have been his most closest confidant, or it could just been tapped. They could really break into your house and put shit in when you're not looking. They can access your stuff. They can hack your security system, put it on pause, and put bugs wherever. Like you don't know. That's what it means when like your life is gone. That's what they really mean when they say sell your soul. Your life is gone. There's no normal to it. You talking about this ain't normal? There's celebrities who would wish for your life.
Yeah.
They'll give up the money, but they can't go back. Like you said, they can't even walk down the block.
Yeah.
Russ can. Most people ain't recognizing him. But like when you get to that point, you are that big of a threat, because in order to get to that point, you have to learn a lot of secrets. Like you channel this world is not as simple as they try to make it. It is simple, but it's like a spiritual world. And this is kind of what I was saying about like the whole Christianity thing, because a lot of it, you know, is revelations in the Bible, but you know, when they talk about heaven and hell, it's also, you know, like a lot of it is like parables for the chakra systems, and the whole thing is like, you know, forget that. I don't want to go there. Yeah, I don't want to go there.
I mean, shit, we could wrap it up here because we have said a lot on this episode, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
So I satisfied all your inquiry about Hollywood and whatever.
absolutely. I mean, like, you know, I'm sure there's a lot, like, more shit I want to ask in the future, and I'm gonna write it all down, and I'm gonna have you back. And that's only if, you know, if this, it's not like, yo, yeah, let's clip this podcast. We're not gonna let you do. We're not gonna let you do that.
Nah, hey, man, that hey,
Hey,
yo, you know what's it's
what?
I don't know.
Say it.
I don't even know. Nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. I just thought about election time coming up. It's about to get crazy.
What you mean by that?
You remember how aggressive they were about like controlling people's speech and everything last election cycle? 2020, I feel like it just might come back. Like the level of aggression in terms of how they censor people. Like people are aware of it now. In the moment, people was like turning a blind eye to it, but it was crazy out of hand. Nobody really stopped it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Elon Musk bought Twitter and all that, but like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought about that when you said it, but that's what I was thinking about. I think it's coming back if there's even an election.
We're not gonna hit that right now,
Nah,
bro. Another
yeah,
episode.
I don't got nothing to
another
say
episode
about
of
that. That's
something.
all I gotta
Nothing.
say.
Oh, yeah. Hey, don't plan nothing, bro. Don't plan nothing.
Don't tell nobody, you mean?
Okay.
Wait, what you talking about?
I don't know.
You mean with my personal plans, don't plan, just walk by faith? I could take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could take
Let's
that.
do that.
Walk by faith. Yeah, I like that.
All right, man. Let's wrap it up here, yo. Shit. Listen, man.
Right, man. Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate you having me, man.
No doubt.
I'll see y'all on the next episode in Florida. All right.